We're back into our site, the site we created. Now, I do have two things that aren't going to stay there that you don't have, and that's Lighthouse JPEG right here and our test page. Let me reopen that. Okay, not really much going on. We changed some words, we added a graphic, but we did make some links, didn't we? Click here to return to home page, and the Lighthouse is a link that takes you to my home site. I want to check these things out, not just in Dreamweaver, because I can do that, but in a browser, because understand something about browsers. Browsers are the interpreters of the code. If the browser doesn't interpret the code correctly, the site isn't going to load correctly. Now, the one thing I absolutely love about the last couple of years is they've really been getting good about standardizing browsers and how they work with code. So it's getting better and better. I still want to try it out. Now, down here on the lower right, you have a button that looks like the world, the globe. And if I click that, I have Preview in Safari. Makes sense. This is a Macintosh. Safari is the default browser. I have never actually used this Dreamweaver before, and that's all it knows I've got. But if that's all it's got, I'm going to try it. I'm going to click right here. There it is. I want to see if things work here. So if I click here, that will take us to our dull, boring home page that we made, if it works, and it does. Now, since I don't have a link on this one to go back to that page, I'm going to click the back button here. Now, the other one is this right here, and that would take you, theoretically, to my home page. So if I click it, it worked. Yay. Let me go ahead and get out of here. I want more than Safari. So I go out and I get free copies of Google Chrome, all the different ones that are out there, okay? There's Firefox, there's all these different ones that are out there. How do I add them? Well, you do add them through preferences. But the easiest way to get there is click here and go down to Edit Browser List, which will open preferences. Preview in browser, the only one I have is Safari. I want another one, or as many as I can get. So I'm going to go ahead and click up here on the plus sign. Now I know I have Chrome, so I can go ahead and type that in ahead of time. And I can click Browse right here. Now it will take me into my applications. By default, that's where the stuff is supposed to be. And if I scroll down here, I should see at least Google Chrome. There it is. I select it, I click Open. Now I can make this my primary browser, which means it's the first one up. I can make it the secondary if I want to. I've already named it. The path is there. I click OK. Click Apply, and then Close. So the next time I want to work, I could have a bevy of different browsers in here, and one at a time I could click on them and check and make sure the system works based on what I've written in my code, based on what Dreamweaver has done, and therefore I know if it works for me using those browsers, it's going to work for everybody else. I would suggest getting out on the internet and picking up every single different type of browser you can get. That way you can check and you can make sure. One of the things I hate about going to a website is finding out that links don't work, buttons don't work, it doesn't look right because the browser reassembled the information because the code wasn't written right. All of these little things are going to determine whether people stay on your site, called a sticky site, or they're going to be repelled by it. So be careful. Anyway, let's go ahead and close this out and move on.